coterminal angles, right? So coterminal means that terminal, where it ends, shared. So they have the shared ending spot. So they all end at the same spot. So that means they're all equal. Sorry, I just had to get that out. So now let's talk about something else. So, arc length. Recall from geometry that an arc is a part of a circle and that a central angle is an angle whose vertex is at the center of the circle. The length of the arc depends on the radius of the circle and the measure of the central angle, theta, that it intercepts, as shown below. So it's kind of nice getting the kind of color coordinating it for you. You have your angle theta, which is just right there. All right, so this is your theta. You have your radius here, then you have your arc over there. All right. So to help us understand this, at what angle would the radius be equal to the length of the arc? So if I start here and I rotate how many degrees, I want to figure out when this arc length would be the same, much better, as this radius length. Okay. So if you notice, the arc is on the edge of the circle. So if we're talking about the edge of the circle, we're talking about the circumference, and the circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi times the radius. Okay, so that's talking about the entire circle. And if we think about that in degrees, well, an entire circle is 360 degrees. Right? So these kind of talk about the whole circle. But I'm not talking about the whole circle right now. I'm trying to figure out just a piece of the circle, the arc length. So what I'm going to do is set it up where arc length, let's call it L. And I want to figure out whether L and R will be the same. So I want a certain piece of the circumference. I want an R piece of the circumference divided by 2 pi R, right? Since L is equal to R, that's where that kind of fits in. And that angle theta is part of the entire circle. So it's a part out of the 360. It's proportional, right? So if R corresponds to theta, that means that 2 pi R has to be the same as 360. So now we just need to go ahead and solve for R if we can. Actually, I don't want to solve for R. I want to solve for theta. Okay, so here's what we can do. So that's a 1. So essentially this problem is now 1 over 2 pi is equal to theta divided by 360. And I'm trying to solve for theta, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 360. Okay, so these go away. And from there, I'm able to say that 360 divided by 2 pi would have to equal theta, meaning that 180 divided by pi should equal theta. So, whenever the radius is equal to the length, whatever this is, that's how many degrees that would be. And it's about like 57 point something, 58 point something. I always forget the exact number, but it's there. In our next video, we're going to talk about, all right, so what exactly does this number represent, and why would anyone want to actually find this?